Hey parents, welcome to Clairissa's Corner. Did you know that Baylor was just ranked as having the top 4 experience for first year students? Well, a huge part of that is chapel. And so today I'm here with Dr. Erin Moniz, our director for chapel, just to talk about Baylor and the impact of chapel on your student's life. So Dr. Moniz, can you tell us a little bit about chapel at Baylor and why do we have chapel here?
Yes, so students are required to take 2 semesters of chapel when they come to Baylor, but we like to think about it as an experience that is a part of what they are doing here at Baylor specifically, and that is really tied to us wanting to make sure that who they're becoming as a person and that formation is a part of how they think about their life at Baylor and their student experience here.
I love that. So why do we do chapel the way that we do it at Baylor? Because it's pretty unique and it's amazing. So what's the heart behind that?
Yeah, so we have anywhere between 60 and 70 different chapel offerings. And part of that is because we know that the students coming are unique. They come from different backgrounds, they come from different styles of worship, they come from different ways that they think about their faith and what they're wanting that is particular to how they will be formed. And so we wanted to offer enough chapels to where students could have the type of availability to say, oh, this one may be better for somebody else, but this one is really right for me. And so we set chapel up so that it can represent the diversity in our student body while still trying to think critically about who's here and how we can meet them for an optimal spiritual experience.
I love that. So what are an example of maybe a few of the chapel options that we have?
Oh yes, we have chapels that can be in your residence hall or with your academic cohorts. We have chapels that come bring people together from different walks of life, like if students have served in the armed forces or if they're a transfer student, we have different chapels for them. We also have chapels for our students that may be coming from no faith at all or from a different faith than Christianity that are specifically designed to meet them where they are at. But we want our chapels to always be something that benefits the student in a way that is distinctly Christian, but also thinking about who they are and where they're coming from, so that it is still a good experience for everyone.
I love that. Okay, now I've heard you share about why we do chapel, and you've got a great story with that. Can you share that with our parents today?
Yeah, and if you ever end up in one of my orientation sessions, I tell this story, but basically, in thinking about why we do chapel at Baylor, I show a reflection from a student that was in chapel several semesters ago, and she was asked to reflect on her purposes in life and what she's doing here and why that's part of the bigger picture. And she wrote that she's like, I can't believe you're asking me this. Don't you know I have finals? Like, I've got studying to do. I don't know what my purpose is. This is terrible. I've come to hate this chapel because no one knows what their purpose is and nobody has time for these questions because I've got to get grades and I've got to get a job and I've got to get out of here. And it's a little bit funny. People are like, why are you showing us this, Dr. Moniz? But part of the reason I love showing that, and we share it with permission because it really articulates beautifully what I think a lot of our students experience during their time in college as an undergrad. And that is the tension between what they are working to achieve and who they are as their identity and value as a human being. Because we want our students to succeed here. We want them to get that GPA, get that internship, get an incredible job. They're gonna get an incredible education here. But does that tell you who you are? Does that tell you what your value is? For us, chapel is not the only place, but it's definitely one of the places where we want to invite students to just be in a space where they're not having to perform, they're not having to be weighed and measured by anything. They can just be a person and we can just ask those questions so that when they leave here, they can not only have that incredible education, those experiences that send them out into the job market, but they will also be the type of people that understand virtues, have had a character formation while they're here that makes them game changers in their communities, that makes them the kind of people who use the tools they get at Baylor for a positive impact wherever they go.
That is amazing. I love that. It sounds like really students get to meet Jesus at chapel. So with so many different options, how can students figure out exactly which chapel they should go to?
Yes, I know it sounds like an overwhelming number of chapels, and so we've got a couple of ways this works. My favorite is actually this BuzzFeed quiz that we put together, but instead of telling you like, you know, which Friends character you are, it asks you a bunch of questions about yourself and then it populates your top 5 chapels. And so it does some translation work. If you're looking at the list and you're like, I'm just not sure which chapel's right for me, based on these descriptions, which are all on our website. The buzz quiz, the chapel buzz quiz, is this fun little tool. Take it as many times as you want. Be different people. Parents, you can take it too. See which chapels are for you. But it reduces it down to 5, which you can take to your advising appointment and figure out what works for your schedule, knowing that one of these chapels would be a good fit for you. The other is that myself and my staff, what we love more than anything is making sure that you as a student are finding your optimal place here at Baylor and having a good chapel experience. We love talking to parents, we love talking with students. We consider ourselves sort of a concierge for the chapel experience. And so if anyone's anxious about chapel, I tell them, make sure you reach out to me, email me, make an appointment with me, meet me at orientation. I would love to talk with you and make sure that you have an optimal chapel experience.
I love that. Thank you so much, Dr. Moniz. So parents, main takeaways for you is that chapel is an incredible opportunity for your student on campus to get a chance just to meet Jesus in a unique way and to get to grow more for who they are as a person. And it's an extension of all the support services that we already have here at Baylor. And so if your student is overwhelmed with figuring out which chapel they should take, they should definitely do the buzz quiz or come on here to the BOGO Spiritual Life Center and talk to Dr. Moniz and her team about which chapel would be best for them. So share this with your student, and we hope this was a blessing.